how do you even plan a successful semester? How do you ensure that the goals and the expectations you have at the beginning of the semester, you actually achieve all of them by the time the end of the semester comes? That is what we are discussing, because I myself was one of those persons who was going to uni and I was also working, and I had all these big ideas and these lofty expectations at the beginning of the semester that I never like actually attained by the end of the semester came around. I was like, what's going on here? So the reason I'm discussing this topic of how to have like the formula to have a successful semester is because I struggled with it, figured out a way that I did it for myself to improve my situation. But even more so, a lot of my clients recently here at WebLearn have been asking me, how do they plan their semester? How do they set up their semester so that they can almost guarantee or even guarantee that it's going to be a successful one? Specifically for those persons that I speak to or who are like in my client base, they're not only students, but they have full-time jobs. So they want to ensure that their work does not affect their school, that their school does not affect their work. They also want to ensure they have time for themselves and their family, and do so with not going crazy or insane. The first step is obviously to have goals. Goals are important, but most persons only stop at setting goals, like writing down what they want to do and have some sort of checklist for the end of the semester. But goals themselves do not lead to success, because winners and losers have the same goals, right? That's a quote from the book Atomic Habits. I want to think about Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is a 8-time Olympic medalist, and I think he still holds the world record for the 200 meter and the 100 meter. Everybody in that race with Usain wants to win the race, but only Usain wins the race. So they all have the goal of finishing first, but only one person does. So having the goal itself is not what is going to lead to success, because even some persons, they have goals that are so big that they discourage you. For example, some of my same clients, they want to have a successful semester, but the semester before, and the one before that, and the one before that, they did not have success. So thinking that they could have success without burnout and stress is like this gigantic mountain that is like, whoa, 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 what are you trying to tell me? I don't think I could do that. And instead of getting energized and encouraged, they get discouraged and kind of dismayed because the goal is so big. So we can comfortably say setting goals is not enough, because we all have goals, but not all of us actually get them. Agreed? Good. We're going to talk about something that is more effective than setting a goal, and it's actually creating a system. A system, by definition, is a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done. A system is to show you the things you should not do so you can actually get there. It makes the process easier. Let's think about the system that probably Usain used to use. He had his diet locked in. Obviously, there's weightlifting involved. His track work, his technique, how he actually ran. Obviously, rest and recovery had to be a part of his system as well. He didn't just say that he wanted to be a world-class athlete and then like, poof, it happened. There was action, there were systems behind the scenes working in concert with each other to ensure he actually got to the goal he wanted to. The question being then, what should be the result of any system that you implement, since you have to balance work, school, family, and all these other responsibilities? And don't talk about trying to find time for yourself. What should a system look like for you? It should balance your time effectively, ensure that you do not burn out or get overly stressed. It also should, without a doubt, ensure that you get better grades or have academic success. Also still continue to have success in your professional and secular environment. You see how I just talked about 5 things that you need to consider that this system should do for you given your situation. I had an interesting conversation with someone who was doing a free course. She's 21 days stress-free scholar. We can just call her Anna. So I was talking to Anna, and she was like really loving the course material. She said it's been very helpful and stuff, but she find that is not really working for her. Something isn't adding up. I was like, well, you seem like a responsible young lady. When I talk to you, you seem to have been trying to apply the lessons inside the course, time management, goal setting, actually trying to be productive. I was like, something not adding up. So we talked more, and instead of just staying on the surface, we got beneath the surface to see what the actual issues was. So after talking to her, she's not only a full-time student, but she's trying to play badminton at a professional level. She's trying to be a professional dancer as well, and also a professional track athlete. I was like, wow, that is a lot. Like, I don't know how you're doing that, girl. That's crazy. So I kind of asked her, you think you can do all these things like to the level you want? She said no. She said she's not getting any sleep, and how she's rationalizing it is that one athletic pursuit is going to help the other. So I asked her, how many sports do professional athletes play at a time? LeBron James, only basketball. Tiger Woods, only golf. Same Usain, who we were talking about, is only sprinting as a triathlete. Trying to show her that what she is doing is as if she has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups, and she's trying to fill up all the cups at the same time. So even though she's doing each of these activities, she is not doing them to the degree with which would gain her results. All systems have a load or a capacity. That a car can't go 300 miles an hour, like regular cars can't go 300 miles an hour. We too could have too many goals that we want our system to carry out. In considering what systems you're going to implement, make sure you're not overloading them with too many goals. Know that we have seen the importance but yet the limitations of setting a goal and the need for creating a system. The question then becomes, how do we create a system that helps us to get to the goals that we actually want? We can talk about a 3-step process that you can use to create your own system. Step 1 in the process is to make it easy, right? Then we talked about goals only set direction, and that sometimes when we see a goal and it's so big, it could like discourage us rather than encourage us. So break down the goal into smaller parts. They have like checkpoints. So you may be running a marathon, but somebody cheering you on, yes, 1 mile down, yes, 2 miles down. I bet you when Usain first start training and exercising to be a world-class athlete, he was not holding himself to the standard of being an Olympic athlete in the beginning. Probably within like 2-3 months, it was just to get a 1/10 of a second faster. In making it easy, first we want to break down the goals. Try habit stacking. Before Usain would have been doing like his track work and sprinting and stuff, he would have had a specific warm-up routine that he used. Even though he would have waking up early, he would have paired waking up early with proper breakfast and proper hydration. Similarly, me, you, any of my clients watching, anybody who wants to get a better semester, well, you don't have to start a new habit from scratch. You could just pair it with one of the habits that you already do. One of my goals is try to be healthy. I wake up early, but I just don't wake up early. I wake up early, that is paired with also having a cold shower, and that is paired with working out. That's how my days start. I don't have to be thinking like I need to do this, then I need to do that. I already pair a habit that I do every single day with something that I want to do. You're someone who has difficulty trying to study or implement proper study habits. Pair 15-20 minutes of previewing your next class when you drink your morning coffee. Part of making it easy is environment optimization. I bet you that Usain didn't live like next to a nightclub that was booming and jamming the entire night. And I also bet you that when he was at the track and he had to go between going to the gym and to the track and the gym is not 5 hours apart. There are things that we can do with our current environment to make it as conducive as possible to be productive, to be better students, to hone in or harmonize that balance between juggling work and school. It's not easy, but there's simple things that we can do. Not trying to study when we're already exhausted and we have no energy at the end of the day. You woke up early, you had to deal with family and kids, and then you had to go to work, and then you had to go to school, and then all at the end of the day, when you battery at like 3%, you trying to do productive work. No, ensure that your environment, being it could be yourself as well, ensure that you have the adequate energy and you have a designated space without distractions, not necessarily just having your phone on mute and on airplane mode. Ensure that anybody else in the house knows that do not disturb you in this time, because you are doing work to get to where you want to go to reach those goals. You're implementing your system. The next part in this system is to be proactive versus reactive. Reactive people wait for things to happen to them and then they like adjust accordingly and scrambling. Oh my gosh, like, wow, woo, why is this happening? No. Proactive people look down the road and say, oh, this is gonna happen and I should probably put things in place so it does not happen. Semesters have like the same schedule. They start at the same time, they end at the same time. Midterms are usually at the same time, and most persons get stressed out right before exams because it's like this whole rush to cram everything down. You know what the challenges, the issues, and the obstacles are going to be for a semester if you have had one to this point. If you're having your first semester, ask somebody who has been already spent a semester or done the course or been down the journey you have been. So that's not an excuse. What you're going to do is have a standard operating procedure. A standard operating procedure is when this happens, This is what we do. When this happens, this is what we do. This is how we do things here. One of your obstacles could be that you have to choose between work and school in certain environments. What can you do? You can talk to your employer or your organization with reference to, again, I am trying to do this course. I'm trying to like level up my skills in this way. I'm doing this course. There may be times where I need to leave work 15 minutes earlier or 20 minutes earlier. Can we have an arrangement where that comes out of my lunch already next day or something like that? Instead of you waiting on the day that you need to get to class and then trying to have that conversation and you still get to class late either way. Think of all the issues, challenges that you could have and prepare a plan of action. Be proactive rather than reactive. Last part with reference to how to make an effective system is to make it yours. Everyone's system is not going to look the same because I'm going to have a different set of goals than you are. My goal, because I do not have a family, may be to balance work and school, ensuring a more healthier routine, getting in shape and eating better. Someone else wants maybe that they much want to have more time for themselves in recreation. As I talked about, somebody else may have to take care of aging parents or young children. So all of our systems are going to look different, right? They're going to get us to our goals. They're going to be some similarities, but they're going to be unique to you. Make the necessary adjustments so it is fun for you, easy for you to engage in. Okay? When we're talking about Usain and how he was approaching his training, he probably didn't eat like someone else ate because there were certain things that he preferred other than others. He may probably like to train at specific times in the day versus somebody else, right? His brand of spikes, the shoes he used to run, may be a different color to someone else's. And that's how you can make it yours. In addition to making it fun, making it enjoyable. My type of fun is not your type of fun. My recreation is going to be exercising, basketball, and like watching Star Wars. Yours is going to be different. So in you trying to make effective system, ensure that you make it easy, break down your goals, use habit stacking, optimize your environment. Be proactive rather than reactive. Have a game plan. Know the issues and challenges you're going to have to overcome. Now that we know how to create a system, an effective system, how can you ensure that you stick to it, that you stay consistent? This is what I had a lot of challenge with. I relied a lot on my own self-motivation, which went up and down all the time. But even with this same analogy of Usain, when Usain crosses the finish line and he's first, is that success only his? No. Usain had coaches. He had persons that he trained with. He would have had dietitians, persons who cook his meals for him. The issue you may be having in trying to keep consistent to your system is that it's just you. But you think about any systems, big organizations, or if you think about a car and a system it uses with reference to the engine and igniting fuel, it is not just one part, it's many parts working in concert together to get to a goal. The same way, you need to find your tribe of people, your community of persons that are going to hold you accountable to do what you need to do. Sometimes that's difficult because some persons don't have the same the motivation to get where you want to go or discipline to get there in the first place, and then you may be just dragging people along who kind of holding you back. How do you find those people? Funny enough, this is the question I asked because in my business where I've learned to helping these persons balance work and school, I used to do it on a one-on-one basis. But me being the only person holding them accountable was not the most effective, was not the best way of doing so. Recently, I have adjusted to creating a community. So we get a certain amount of people in each semester and they split them up in group of 5. Each group of 5 knows each other intently, knows their schedules, their goals, what are their motivations for doing this in the first place, and hold each other accountable, right? And then they check in with each group on a regular basis, and then we talk together as an entire community. So you don't just got those 5 people holding you accountable, then you got all the other groups and seeing them and their success motivating and propelling you forward as well. So when your motivation is dipping, someone else's is higher and they can pick you up and carry you along. If you can't find this for yourself, the Scholarly Circle, which is the name of the community, may be something that you may be interested in. All you got to do is register at weblearn.com and obviously send in your application showing your interest, and maybe you could get in for when your next semester rolls around and you could be engaged. If you're already halfway through your semester at this point, try to find those group of people as best as you can and look forward to the next semester where we're taking a new crop, a new cohort of clients. The way to get success and be successful this semester is not just by setting goals, it's by implementing systems and being consistent in adhering to those systems. So now that you have your system, in this system, what processes are you going to use to study and be as effective as possible? Good question, right? Check out this video over here, how to actually study, to give you the answer.